We are in the second week of January, and I feel like we just said Happy New Year at the stroke of midnight. My name is Alana Marie. I am a documentary filmmaker, digital content creator, and content coach. And welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So today's episode, I'm going to share with you all the everyday gear I use to create content. So whether I am shooting a YouTube video or whether I am working with clients, these are the gear. This is the gear that I use and I pack in my everyday bag when I am shooting content for you all to see. Let's go ahead and get started. So for starters, I actually use the Canon. I'm a Canon girl all the way. That's the only brand that I've used up until this point. The Canon 80D camera. It's a crop camera. I use this for all of my video content. So for all of my YouTube content, I use this camera. And also when I'm doing video work with clients, I also use this camera. And I'm pretty sure there are more upper tier Canon cameras that I could be using. And eventually I will get to that. But for now, it does its job. It does what it needs to do. And ultimately, it's really about the person who was holding the camera. So I upgraded from the Canon Rebel series, the T6i, and I switched over to the Canon 80D. I was going back and forth between the 90D and the 80D. Didn't really see that much of a difference, to be honest. And I stuck with a used Canon 80D. And so far, so good. I'm really enjoying what it's doing. My clients have no complaints. And then maybe towards mid-2021, towards the end of 2021, I'll see about upgrading to a different camera. But for now, all I have is all I need. So I also use the Canon 5D Mark III. It is a full frame camera within the Mark series. This is actually my husband's camera, and I use that camera for all of my brand photography or any photography work. I have zero complaints about either one of these cameras. The 5D series is more on the pricier point. So the 80D, I got this for around, it's used, I got it for around $600, and then the 5D, which was also used, we got it for a little under $1,000, which for starter cameras, of good quality cameras, that seems to be pretty standard within the industry. So I have a couple of different lenses that I keep in my bag, but my two primary ones that are my grab and goes. So my YouTube camera, when I'm shooting YouTube content or any video content, I have the Sigma 17 to 50 millimeter focal point 2.8. I like it. I'm probably going to upgrade eventually. I want to get the Canon 24 to 70 eventually. I love how that shoots. I think Sigma lenses are a great add-on to Canon. And so that is a good recommendation that I have if you have any questions about video lenses. And then also, of course, my Nifty 50. I love the Nifty 50. I pretty much use this lens for all of my brand photo shoots, all of my documentary portrait shoots. So for instance, this one, this one, and this one. This is a prime lens, meaning it doesn't zoom. It stays at 50. So if you want to get closer or further away, that means you have to move your own feet. You can't go on the ring and move it back and forth. You have to move your own body, which to me, it helps me become a more skilled photographer because I'm having to be more agile and nimble in my skill set to make sure I'm capturing what it is that I want to capture. And also for the 50, the one I have, focal point is 1.8. That really gives you that shallow depth of field. It makes the background very blurry. It makes your subject very crisp and pristine. And I love the 50. It is very, very cost efficient. And I think every photographer, whether it's Canon, Nikon, whatever brand you use, should always have a 50 in their bag. So for audio purposes, I use the Rode VideoMicro Compact on-camera microphone. This is what I primarily use to shoot my YouTube videos. So this is what I'm actually using right now. But for client work, what I will do, I'll actually rent. There's a company here in Dallas called Aperture Rent, and I will go and rent the Sennheiser live mics. I primarily use those more for client work. It's a lot more quality based, it's a lot more crisp, and I prefer to use that more so I can control the audio better with the Sennheisers than I can with my Rode mic. But for the run and gun basic shoot that I will use primarily either for myself or if I'm just trying to capture some basic audio on set for maybe some more promo brand video work, I will use the on-camera Rode mic. As far as a good to have accessory to have into your bag, I actually have a top handle. I actually learned about this gadget from one of my favorite YouTubers and documentarians, Mark Bone. Shout out to you. He talked a lot about image stabilization and getting really smooth pans and handheld shots when you're on the go. And this little gadget here was about $30. He put the link in his description box and I found it. Granted, these top handles are typically almost always sold out. The first time I looked, it was sold out. The second time, I was actually able to get my hand on it. And I will use these to get some smooth pan shots for some dope BTS for a lot of my client work. And last but not least, in regards to lighting, I use the ring light. For all of my YouTube content, I use the ring light. I place it directly in front of me while the right side of me is facing all natural light. I like to shoot when there is natural light facing me, so when I turn on my ring light, it's very subtle, it's not too harsh. And then behind me, I purchased a lamp. My ceiling fan's light is actually very, very dark. I don't like it. I typically never ever turn it on, but to kind of set a nice aesthetic and a mood, a warm mood, I wanted to get a corner lamp to put in here by my desk because my office is in the corner of my bedroom, and it kind of sets off a nice little warm tone behind me, and it kind of makes me pop out a little bit more. But ultimately, this is pretty much all I use for my YouTube setup. Ultimately, the premise behind this video is to not promote any specific equipment, gears, cameras, lenses, lighting, audio, none of that. It really is to show that you can create dope and amazing work with the equipment that is readily available to you or that is within your budget. The Canon 80D to probably a lot of people who are within the industry seems like a lower tier camera, but for me, it does its job and my clients really appreciate the work. The nifty 50, a lot of people prefer zoom lens. It really is subjective. Art is subjective. Whatever your budget is right now, whether that is $0 or thousands of dollars, there is equipment that is available to you that you are able to use. Whether you have to rent it first, not only to get a feel for what the equipment does and to actually see if you can gravitate to that camera and that your skill set grows and that you're willing to actually put in the work and practice with that equipment, or if you have the ability to purchase right now. Either way, or if you have to borrow from a friend. Think outside the box. It doesn't have to be something that you specifically own, but the more time that you take to actually practice and hone your skill and hone your craft and actually learn it, the better you will get. It does not have to stop there. Like, your skills do not stop at the place that you were starting at. As you continue to grow, it will get better. Learning new equipment will get a lot easier. You'll have more client work coming in if that is what you want to do. Your YouTube videos will get a lot better. Then you will have better equipment. I'm off my rant, but that is it, you guys. Those are some of I keep saying those. I've been out of school for a while, y'all, but that's the equipment that I keep in my camera bag on an everyday basis, whether I'm creating for myself or for my clients. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Again, Happy New Year to you. And all of the equipment that I mentioned in today's video, I will post in the description box below. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm an open book. It is clearly still COVID. I ain't going nowhere, Lord willing. And just thank you for being a part of this community and continuing to support what I am doing as one of the few who looks like me within my industry as a Black female filmmaker. Until next time, keep creating. I'll see you in the next video.